I'd like you to start standing at the top of your mat. Your feet can be hip width apart, or you can have your big toes touching. You'll start by inhaling, sweeping your arms up, looking up to your palms. Exhaling, sweeping your arms down and wide as you forward fold. Staying here in your forward fold, option to bend your knees here a little bit or a lot. Breathing in and out. Slowing down your breath. Option to take your opposite elbows in your hands and swing from side to side. As you inhale and exhale. And then let go of your elbows. Let your knuckles graze the mat and take one more inhale breath cycle with your fingertips pressing to the mat, halfway lift. Exhale your palms to the mat and step your right foot back. And let your right knee come down to the mat. Low lunge on the left side. Float your fingertips up to the sky, breathing here. Your core is strong. Your body is long, shoulders are down and away from your ears. Long, deep breaths here. Your left knee is tracking above your left ankle. Breathe one more inhale here. Exhale your fingertips down to the mat. Step your left foot back, taking your downward dog and then rolling through chaturanga, coming all the way down to the mat as you exhale. Untucking your toes, inhaling through cobra or upward dog. Your hands are below your shoulders. Exhaling, pushing back to downward dog. Find your downward dog here. Option to walk out the dog. And then shifting your gaze to the top of your mat, coming high onto your tippy toes, bending your knees, stepping or hopping to your hands, forward fold. And inhale, sweeping really wide and high, coming all the way up to standing. And then exhaling, forward fold again. Option to have your elbows in front. Bow deep. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to knees or fingers graze the mat. Long spine here. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your left foot back this time. Left knee down to the mat. Low lunge, right side. Float your fingers up to the sky. Right knee is tracking above right ankle. Breathing here. Breathing in and out. Fingers are wide. Your face is smooth. Long deep breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, floating your fingers down, framing your right foot, stepping your right foot back, downward dog. Breathing here in downward dog. Shifting your gaze to the top of your mat, bending your knees, coming up onto your tippy toes as you bend your knees, stepping or hopping to your hands, forward fold. And then sweeping your arms, this time coming up into chair pose. So your arms can be alongside your ears, or you can bring your hands to your heart. Breathing here. Getting a little bit longer with every inhale and a little bit deeper with every exhale. And then when you've had enough, on your next breath cycle, you can inhale all the way up at standing, back to standing, and exhale your arms down. Step to the top of your mat. If you're not already there, sweep your arms up as you inhale. Inhale. Palms together, elbows in front of your face. As you exhale, down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips grazing the mat. Exhale, press into the mat. Step or hop back through chaturanga. So coming up through high plank, rolling forward, coming down to the mat as you exhale, untucking your toes, Inhaling, cobra or upward dog. Exhaling, pushing back to downward dog. Find some stillness in your downward dog. And when you're ready, step your left foot to the center of the mat. Inhale your right leg all the way up, straight right leg. Breathing in and out here. Three-legged dog. Inhaling and exhaling. On your next breath cycle, as you inhale, get even higher, even longer. Exhale, start to bend your right knee, draw it into your chest, and bring your right knee closer to your nose as you push forward. So now you're hovering, your spine is rounded, you're holding your knee close to your chest, getting it closer to your nose. You're pushing the mat away, using your core. And then place your right foot down and bring your left knee down. And I'd like you to get your blocks. Once you have your blocks, frame your foot with your blocks and take an inhale here, looking up, keeping your back knee down. Think cat-cow. Exhale, pushing your back knee off the mat, rounding your spine, straightening your legs. Inhale, arching your spine. Exhale, pushing the mat away, pushing the blocks away, straightening both legs. Inhale. Exhale, lifting your back knee off the mat. 2 more times. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling with that back knee down. Right knee is bent. Exhale, pushing the mat or blocks away. And this time now, bend your right knee, spin onto your left heel. So opening up your hips, keeping that block next to your right pinky toe, take a side angle pose. So floating your left fingertips to the sky. You're opening up your body to the long edge of your mat, breathing here. Your right hand is still on that block, giving you more lift and stability. Long breaths here. One more inhale. And exhale, that left hand back down. Remove the blocks off your mat. Spin off your back toes. Frame your foot, your right foot with your hands, and step your right foot back, downward dog. Breathing here in downward dog, finding some stillness. And then on your next breath cycle, I'd like you to tuck your chin into your chest and roll forward to high plank. Staying here in high plank, breathing here, pushing the mat away, using your core, or we're coming into side plank, either side, but coming onto the long edge, the side edge of your feet. So rolling one foot in front of the other, roll your toes to the left. Toes are pointing to the left, stacking your shoulders. And then exhale back to the center. Inhale, other side, toes point to the right. Exhale back to the center, toes point to the left. One foot in front of the other. Exhale back to the center, toes point to the right. Exhale back to the center. And then bring your knees down one at a time to the mat. And sit your sit bones all the way back to your heels. Take a child's pose here. Stretch your arms out in front. Long, deep inhales and exhales. Relax your face. Smooth out your face. And on your next inhale, lift your forehead off the mat. Slowly roll your chin into your chest and come back to a tabletop position. Take your wrists now underneath your shoulders, and we'll take our left leg out perpendicular to our body. And taking your right arm up, inhaling your right arm up, stacking your shoulders. Exhale, looping that arm underneath your left arm, bringing the right side of your face down to the mat, and letting your left fingertips float to the sky or taking a bind behind you. Breathing here. And as you exhale, slowly starting to unwind. Take your left palm back to the mat. Push yourself back to your tabletop position. Draw in that left leg and do the same on the right side. So taking your right leg perpendicular to the mat. Left arm lifts, palm is facing out. Inhale, stacking your shoulders. Exhale, looping underneath. Bringing your left side body down to the mat. Right fingertips float to the sky. Or you can take that bind behind you, whittling your fingers into the crease with your hips. Long, deep breaths here. One more inhale. And start to unwind as you exhale. Bringing your right palm back to the mat, unlooping yourself, drawing in your right knee, curling your toes onto the mat, walking your hands out, and pushing yourself back into a downward dog. And doing the same on the left side. So stepping your right foot to the center of the mat, staying in downward dog, inhaling that left foot up, three-legged dog. Breathing here. Breathing here, and then exhale, start to bend that left knee, draw it into your chest. And push that away as you round your spine and hug that knee in, that left knee in really close to your chin, to your nose, drawing it in. And then placing that foot down and letting your right knee come down to the mat. And this is where you would grab your blocks. Place those blocks, framing your left foot. Curl your back toes. Remember, think cat-cow. So as you come up, you're exhaling, rounding your spine, maybe flexing your front foot, taking your toes off the mat, and then inhaling as you bring that back knee down, looking up, taking a deep breath in, rounding your spine, exhaling, lifting your knee off the mat. Take this at your own pace, inhaling and exhaling, bending your legs and then straightening them. We'll do one more. And then let that back knee touch the mat, bring it down. You can move one block out of the way and leave one block close to your left pinky toe. And you'll spin off onto your back heel, coming into a side angle pose. So bending your left knee, floating your right fingertips to the sky, stacking your shoulders, and breathing here. One more inhale. And exhale those right fingertips down, spin off your back heel. All sets of toes are pointing to the short edge of your mat. You can move the block out of the way and step your left foot back, finding your downward dog once again. Breathing here. And then stepping towards your hands, but just a small step to narrow your stance, getting ready for a downward dog twist. So taking your right hand to the outside edge of your left shin or cupping your left heel, taking a downward dog twist. So you're peering out from underneath your left armpit, breathing here. Long, deep breaths, balancing on that one left hand on the mat. And taking that right hand back, placing it on the mat. Left hand wraps around your right shin or your right ankle, and you're peering out from underneath your right armpit, taking a downward dog twist here. One more inhale. And untwist as you exhale. And then look to the short edge of your mat. Look up towards your hands and step your right foot towards your right hand and your left foot towards your left hand. You're going to come into a squat, Malasana squat. So take your toes and point them out as you bend your knees and bring your sit bones down. So remember, you can use a block here if you need it underneath you to give you that support. I'd like your heels to be on the mat with your feet flat on the mat. So you can open up your knees here by bringing your palms together. Or you can leave your hands out of the equation and bring them out in front of you or overhead. Whatever you're doing, I'd like you to slow down your breathing. Bring your attention and your focus back to your breath. Take one more inhale if your arms are outstretched overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart. And then extend your right arm along the inside edge of your right knee. And float your left fingertips up to the sky, trying to stack your shoulders one on top of the other. You can take this side twist here, or you can wrap your right arm around your knee, taking your left hand as well to meet your right hand, binding here in your twist. Breathing here. On your next exhale, you can start to release if you have that bind and bring yourself back to the center. This time extending your left hand along the inside edge of your left leg, floating your right fingertips up as you take an inhale, taking your twist and keeping it here, or wrapping that arm around your left leg, taking your right arm behind to meet your left, and opening up your heart to the right side here. Smoothing out your face, long, deep breaths. One more inhale. And exhale, releasing. An option to remove that block as you bring your sit bones all the way down, but keep the blocks close because you'll need them. I'd like you to have your feet out in front. The blocks next to your hips. You'll place your hands on the blocks. And we're going to come into a bridge pose. So you'll be pushing your hips up and pressing your feet onto the floor, coming up all the way, reversing tabletop. Your fingers are pointing towards your heels. And then as you exhale, you'll come through into an L sit. So straightening your legs, lifting your sit bones off the mat, pushing through again. And exhaling. Inhaling, pushing through, exhaling. 2 more. Inhaling and exhaling. Last one. Push through and exhale, and let your sit bones come all the way down. Now you can remove the blocks out of the way and slowly lie yourself back into a supine position on the mat and cross your arms overhead so that your elbows are bent, and taking a wide stance with your knees and your feet. You'll bring one knee down, inside edge, touching the mat, maybe tapping the mat, and back up, and the other knee down to tap. And you'll just do this movement slowly, tapping one and then the other, moving at your own pace. Maybe your knees are tapping, maybe they're not. And that's fine. And then on one side, as you bring your knee down, I'd like you to take your foot and place it on the outside edge of your knee. So you're weighing it down like a paperweight and breathing here. And on your next breath cycle, as you take your exhale, you can take your foot off of your knee and then lift both knees, dropping the other knee, whichever one, back down to the mat, and taking the other foot and placing it on top of the outside edge of your knee, and breathing here. And as you exhale, take your foot slowly, gently off your knee and let your knees roll back so that they're pointing to the sky. And then take your arms off the mat, roll your arms around, wrap your arms around your knees. And maybe lift your head off the mat and roll yourself into a little ball, taking one big inhale, squeezing all your muscles, contracting and squeezing and tightening, and then exhaling as you release and let go. If you'd like to do a Shavasana, you can take it here. Thank you for joining me for this short but sweet class. You can check out my live classes on amnayoga.offeringtree.com. Take care.